What's up, boy fan? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a little tutorial on my new progesterone machine. I had dropped a video with my old machine, which was a more compact version. Different company, different brand. I now have a Wondfo progesterone machine. It is the original Wondfo one. I don't have the new version of it, but this one's still super reliable. I know a lot of breeders in my area still use this, but yeah, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on it since we're doing a progesterone test on one of our dogs, Gina, co-owned by my partner Sergio. But we are gonna be using a 23 gauge blood draw needle. These are just 3 ml needles. We've got to make sure they're always sterile and stuff, you know what I mean? Sorry about the lighting. The sun's kind of shining through the window there. But we got a couple alcohol prep pads, cotton ball, and then your tourniquet. This is all you need to do the draw. You really don't need anything else. So let's go ahead and get started on this. And we'll do the second part of this video. So pretty much all we're gonna do is just wipe her down, like clean her little arm off with the alcohol. The alcohol helps pop up the vein through the fur and stuff. So next we're gonna want to do is go ahead and tie your tourniquet on there. You don't want it super tight, but just tight enough to where it's gonna be putting that circulation, and then once you get it nice and snug on there, you should start to see the veins start to pop out. Make sure that you always prime your needle. A lot of them have a seal, so like if you don't pop that seal, then once you inject this needle, it'll make it a little bit harder for you to actually draw. So just make sure you always prime that needle. You can kind of feel around in the dog's arm to see where the vein is at. Looks like it's right about here. Go ahead and pull the tourniquet out. It's okay. Yeah, okay. The dogs tend to move a lot when you're drawing and stuff. So if for whatever reason the dog pulls out of that arm, I usually like to rub it down just to make sure that you're not collapsing the veins or anything. It's really easy to collapse the veins whenever the dog pulls that needle out. So just rub her down a little bit and make sure you're getting the blood flow back into the vein. And that way she should be good for the next time you draw on her. But luckily Gina's pretty chill. She moved a little bit today, but for the most part we still got a pretty solid draw on her. Check it out. All you really need is about 1 ml. We got little over 2 ml of blood out of here. So that is plenty blood for what we're gonna spend today. We're gonna actually do a plasma test. So with the plasma test, like I said, you'll need about 1 ml to spin it down, and then get the results that you're looking for. So I'm gonna clip this video, and I'll show you guys the second part of this. Alrighty guys, so this is pretty much the next step. First things first, you want to make sure once you insert your ID chip, you want to make sure you read that chip. It'll tell you read successful if the chip is in good shape. Once you do that,
You want to go ahead and put in all your detailed information, what kind of dog, what kind of serum. If this is the first time using your Wondfo machine, you're gonna have to pick if it's whole blood or plasma, or you're testing on urine or something like that. Me personally, I'm always doing the plasma, so we're gonna click the plasma. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit the animal type. They got cat, horse, cow, poultry, and then of course your dog. So we're gonna go ahead and hit dog. Go ahead and hit the detailed information. The gender is a female. We're testing a female for progesterone today, so we're gonna go ahead and hit that female. She's about 2 years of age. We're gonna hit year. She's about 35 pounds. So we're gonna enter in the pounds. Honestly, you really don't need to do all this to run the test, but me personally, since I'm printing out the tickets, you know, that way the client can keep it for their records. I like to put in all the information, and then all this stuff saves onto your machine if you so choose. So it's just a good way to go back and be able to track every dog, and that way you can differentiate them from the last test that you ran. It'll say save successful once you're done inputting all the information in there. So yeah, that's pretty much all you got to do here. You can choose to print your receipt or not. You just got to check that or unselect it. I am going to print it this time, so we're going to go ahead and leave it selected. These here, these are all for drawing up. Once you spin down the sample, you're going to draw it with these. You gotta make sure that you're setting your draw at 75 UL. It'll have a little thing here. You can twist it and then change the settings. It goes up to 100 UL on this particular pipette. But yeah, I'm gonna just close those for now. And then of course you're gonna get yourself some of these little vials to spin it down inside of your centrifuge. Myself personally, I only spin the blood for about 1 minute. So let's go ahead and dry this up. A lot of people really like to use gloves and all that, but honestly, yeah, we've just been doing this for so long, I don't really mind. Just doing it like this, to each their own, you know. But I definitely always wash my hands after I'm done with this shit, so regardless, it's all good. So yeah, like I said, you only want to put about 1 ml in there. A little bit more. We got a little bit of coagulation on the blood, but that's all right. See that? That's just it coagulating quick. So you just gotta make sure you're spinning these blood tests pretty quick. And that way you don't get so much coagulation. But for the most part, we got a pretty solid sample. That's kind of what it's looking like. Like I said, it's 1 ml inside of that. And then you're gonna go ahead and pop her in here. You gotta make sure that you have a counterbalance inside of your centrifuge. So I got the counterbalance. This is also at 1 ml. This is just water. You can put whatever, I don't know, saline water, or regular water, or whatever you want to put in there. But the main thing you're worried about is that you're setting it directly across from each other like this. Because if you set it like this, or like that, or anywhere else, the balance will be off, and it's gonna make your machine shake really bad, and it's gonna fuck up the little bearings inside of the centrifuge. So you just wanna make sure that they're directly across from each other, like I say. Go ahead and turn it on, start your timer. Oh, that fucking shit didn't even start. There we go. So start a timer for 1 minute, and now we wait. So once that timer goes off, we'll go ahead and stop spinning it. And then we'll go ahead and draw it out with a pipette. And mix with the solution. Wondfo box will come with your ID chip, as long as with some solutions that you're gonna mix the sample with. This is only for the plasma one. You're gonna have your strips fully sealed and everything. Make sure that you keep it sealed until you're ready to do the test, because these are temperature sensitive and all that. So we'll just do that one right there. Pull one of these guys out. Setters over here. And we're good to go on that spinning. So if you go a little bit over the minute, a little bit over that minute, it should be all right. You definitely just don't want to do less than a minute. Just in my experience, I have the best results when I spin it for a minute. I've tried different times. Originally, I remember when I was messing with it, I used to do it for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then it would be pretty hard to draw it out. So now I think I pretty much have figured it out that at 1 minute, I pretty much get the best results out of that. So yeah, go ahead and pop it open. Take your sample out, and then you should see the clear stuff on the top and the whole blood on the bottom. Sometimes if it doesn't separate enough, you can always spin this a little bit more, but it looks like a pretty good spin. So we're gonna go ahead and draw this. And then as far as another tip with the pipette, you don't want to go all the way down. That's to eject. There's 2 stops on this. There's that first stop, and then there's a second stop. So you just want to go down to the first stop and then draw. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Go down to the first stop. We're just barely putting it below the surface. It looks like this sample is a little bit thick, so we're gonna spin it another minute. Hopefully we can get it to separate a little better. I usually just like to throw those pipettes away. Just use another one. And then I always draw extra blood just in case this shit happens. Like if you're having trouble spinning it down, you can just use the rest of the blood. Some of it back out. Just in case we need that one. Let's check out this little sample. Hopefully it's a little bit more. It's looking pretty thick. Let's see if we can draw on it. One thing you could also do is go ahead and mix it back up. Mix it back up with the blood. And then respin it. But I'm gonna put that sample to the side. I'm gonna put the fresh sample in there. Go ahead and spin that down. And to eject those pipettes, all you're doing is just pressing this here, and then it'll go ahead and eject it out. You see how it's pushing down on that? It'll eject it. But yeah, guys, this whole process is pretty simple. You know, obviously I'm not a professional or anything. I've been doing it for some time, but sometimes you encounter some issues, and that's all right. You know what I mean? It's just trial and error. Obviously, as long as you're ensuring that once you do the draw from the pipette and you put it into the solution, you want to make sure it's just clear liquid that's going into your solution. That way, when you actually put it on your strip, it'll be a nice sample that you're running the test on. Let's shake this shit out. A little similar. Hopefully we can get a draw on this one. Yeah, baby. And that's what it should look like. Right about there. You want to make sure there's no blood in it or whatever. So I don't know if you can see that. The sample's a little dark because I'm using a green pipette. But it looks like a pretty solid draw. And once you get that out, you're gonna use your solution here, and it should have just like a little bit under 0.2 in the bottom of that centrifuge tube. This one you don't need to spin or anything. You're gonna put what you just drew out of that blood, which is the plasma. We're gonna go ahead and go to that first level and go ahead and eject all this serum that we just drew out. And you can go ahead and go past the first one to the second. And now we got all of it mixed together in there. So it should look something like that. And then, like I said, you just eject the pipette, use a fresh one every time. Go ahead and close this. We don't need this anymore. This is in there. And then this little guy is a mini mix. So instead of like shaking it back and forth, if you don't have one, we have one. So you're just gonna press down on it and it'll vibrate the sample. You wanna do this for like 5 to 10 seconds. And it should be plenty to make sure that's nicely mixed together. Let's do a little bit more. That looks about right. Set that right here to the side for now. We're gonna open the test strip. And this is what the test strip looks like right here. So it actually has an arrow on one side that'll tell you where you're gonna insert. This side's gonna go into the machine like so. And then you're gonna put your sample right here on this dot here. It's kind of similar to a pregnancy test. This will slowly start to hydrate, and you'll see the solution start to hydrate into there. Let's go ahead and set that right there. Grab another pipette, like so. Pull this thing over here. Go ahead and open the centrifuge tube. And we're gonna go to that first stop. Go ahead and go first stop. And go ahead and draw that right out of there. And just like to save this just in case I need it again. Usually you don't, but just look, it's gonna look exactly the same like the other one. Nice clear fluid. And all we're gonna do is go ahead and inject to the first stop, and then we're gonna go all the way through to the second stop. You wanna go slowly so that it has time to absorb. You're not just wasting your sample. That's about all of it. Well, I'm just gonna go through to the second stop. Make sure I got all of it out of there. And that's that. Like I said, you're gonna start to see that it's slowly hydrating on the strip. You really don't need to let it hydrate all the way through. Go just make sure that you're putting that arrow into the machine. Boom. And then we're gonna start running this test. You just hit start here. And then if you want, you can set your timer over here, but the machine actually has a timer. It's already counting down. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says 14 some change left, 14:41. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy to it. Alrighty, guys. So once you're done spinning the test, it's been 15 minutes now. You'll see the results right here. So this female, she's about 6.98. You can go ahead and discard this test strip. This is no longer good. They're only good for a one-time use. This is the little ID chip that the box comes with. Since we printed it, you'll get a receipt like this, and it'll say you the same results that you see on the screen on here, and this will be for your customer. Like I said, all the information that you input on the machine, it'll be on there. So like, you know, the doctor, the dog's name, all that stuff. I'm running out of ink on this bitch, so it's a little bit blurry, but you know, the important shit's there, the number.
I appreciate everybody tuning in. That's a wrap for this video. Pretty simple process. You draw the blood, you know, spin the blood. Once you get the blood spun, you want to go ahead and draw with your pipette and mix with your solution, and then go ahead and run your test for 14 minutes. Once you get that test ran, it'll give you results and all that. But I hope this was helpful to somebody. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments right there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I appreciate everybody's support. Catch you guys on the next one.